train for having that possibility because you know that this is a dangerous job, but you never actually think that something like that will ever happen to you.
Tonight on Connecticut's news station, Brian North taking the stand in his trial as he faces manslaughter charges. We're breaking down his testimony.
Plus, we have an update on a story Fox 61 brought you exclusively last night. Two teens who said they've been bullied at their high school are getting more community support, and other families are stepping forward to share their stories.
And we're learning more about the Connecticut National Guard member and her daughter who were shot and killed as the search continues for a second suspect whose car was found right here in Hartford.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Well, good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. In Milford tonight, the trial of Trooper Brian North. The trooper himself chose to take the stand.
North has been charged with manslaughter in the first degree with a firearm after an on-duty shooting in 2020. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc was there during his hours of testimony.
I still think about this every day. I lose sleep over it. It's not an easy thing to experience and live with.
33-year-old Trooper Brian North testifying in his own defense, faced with manslaughter charges in the shooting death of 19-year-old Mubarak Suleiman.
I felt that I had to act in that moment, or the West Haven officer, even potentially Trooper Jackson, could have been killed.
For the first time, jurors are hearing what he was thinking during the incident on January 15th, 2020.
Passing 40, speeds 80.
Where Suleiman led police on a high-speed chase in a stolen car and crashed it in West Haven. Dispatchers calling it a carjacking, saying Suleiman had a knife. Trooper North describing the moment he ran up to the driver's side of Suleiman's car with his gun drawn. Another trooper doing the same on the other side. At first, North says Suleiman was out of it. Then, a West Haven officer breaks the passenger window.
The operator of the vehicle, it seems like he wakes up, he comes to, his eyes shoot wide open and he begins looking around. His hand then immediately shoots down to his right pants pocket, and he began reaching rapidly as if to pull something out.
From his view, North says he thought the West Haven officer started to reach into the car to pull Suleiman out, all with a knife in Suleiman's hand.
At that point, I had it's almost like an oh my God feeling. This is happening while the West Haven officer, I'm thinking, is in the window because I can't see him. And I was afraid that he was going to be stabbed in the face or the neck.
Seconds later, North fires 7 shots, hitting Suleiman.
Brian, why 7 shots?
As I just said, I didn't know it was 7 at the time. It's not something that's intentionally done. 7 rounds, it's just falling back to my training.
The same training Inspector General Robert Devlin argues should have required troopers to take a pause.
Anybody communicate with this man using the PA system in your police cars?
No.
You didn't do that?
We did not.
Devlin pointing to the split-second decision North made to fire his gun when he thought the officer was lunging into the car.
Did you shine the flashlight over to the passenger area to confirm or dispel where this guy's crawling through the window?
No, absolutely not. That would be extremely dangerous.
Really? It's more dangerous than shooting someone in the chest 7 times?
Objection, Your Honor.
As for North, claiming he shot Suleiman to save the lives of the other trooper and officer, Devlin points to this moment.
Give me a quick synopsis what happens when the bosses start asking? Just at the end or the whole thing?
The one thing that would actually justify your conduct, the most important thing in this whole case, you don't mention that.
No.
Now, in terms of the length of this trial, the evidentiary portion is expected to wrap up by the middle of next week, and testimony continues on Monday. We're in Milford. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Julia, thank you. To a Fox follow-up now. After accusations of racism, bullying, and harassment at Cromwell High School, more community members are coming forward to share their stories.
Meanwhile, the head of the school system remains publicly quiet. Fox 61's Matt Karen has an update.
Ever since 2 teens came forward with stories of racism and bullying at Cromwell High School,
we always felt so alone.
There's been a groundswell of support.
There should be a zero tolerance for this kind of harassment.
From the mayor to State Senator Matt Lesser, who met privately with twins Anya and Asaya Garrett.
My heart goes out to the students who were affected because it's, their stories are really, really horrific.
And while sending messages to the school community, one person who's been publicly silent is Superintendent Dr. Enza Macri. We made a house call.
Hi, this is Matt Karen with Fox 61 News. We're here to talk to the superintendent about racism and bullying.
I'm sorry, the superintendent is in a meeting and she has no comment at this time.
Is there a reason she doesn't have a comment?
Have a good day.
Dr. Macri did email Fox 61 this district equity statement from 2021, a policy that the twins say didn't help them.
We're in the middle and we're suffering because of no communication within the administration. Step it up a bit. You can't just address a problem once and then let it go away.
Sadly, the twins aren't the only story we came across. A mom who didn't want to be identified told us about what her daughter experienced as a sophomore.
She's been called the worst names, body shaming. Last year, she attempted to commit suicide.
Feeling unsafe, her daughter resorted to self-defense classes, only to be expelled when she fought back. She says the bullies remain at the school.
They need to do better. The bullying has to stop. They need to take action.
Senator Lesser told Fox 61 he's committed to taking that action by planning to meet with Cromwell High's student-run Unity Club, and will continue to advocate for change at the state level, including recruiting educators of diverse backgrounds.
It's very hard for Black students to get the support that they need, especially in a school system that's predominantly white.
And something that we have to do better at is recruiting, diverse teachers into our schools. Certainly Connecticut is working on that, but we have a lot more work to do.
Cromwell officials also told me that they can only do so much. They are counting on parents to have conversations with their kids at home about kindness, diversity, and respect. Reporting outside Cromwell High School, Matt Karen, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Oh, so nice to finally have that sun come out just in time for the weekend, but will it stick around?
Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Rach, I know the answer to the question is no, but we should be able to get the parade in, right?
Yeah, and at least we've got that going for us. We've got more clouds that are coming in. You guys gonna, hi, I'm here in the Weather Center. Here we go, let's do this. We've got more clouds coming in and more rain too, but the rain will hold off until Saturday night, which is some good news. So yes, we do sneak the parade in dry, which I know a lot of us are really relieved about. 53 the current temperature in Hartford. We're looking at temperatures in the mid-40s along the shoreline. You can look out the window and see there are no clouds to speak of, but you're seeing plenty heading this way. And here is a look at our storm system. It's kind of disjointed. You're seeing some rain in the south and some rain in the Midwest, and that will go on to develop a storm system in the middle that will track almost directly over us. And we're anticipating about an inch of rain to fall tomorrow night. Heading through the evening tonight, 11 o'clock, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 30s. Overnight lows will be in the 30s as we head towards daybreak. And tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., maybe you're gearing up for the Hartford St. Patrick's Day Parade, and there could be a little bit of sun, but overall it's mostly cloudy and it's a chilly start. Maybe you're getting there at 9 to kind of pick your spot along the parade route. By 11, when the parade is stepping off, temperatures are in the low 40s and we're seeing cloudy skies as we head towards the afternoon. We do see that rain increase in coverage as we head into tomorrow night, noticing our rain chances going up, up and away. We'll talk about what that means heading into the second half of the weekend on Sunday, and the chance for some snow showers in the forecast too coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. A man is in custody tonight accused of shooting and killing a Connecticut National Guard member and her 11-year-old daughter.
But his alleged accomplice, who police say was last seen in Hartford, is still at large. Fox 61's Bridget Bureau joins us in studio now with everything we know about the investigation. Bridget.
Well, good evening, Brent and Sarah. Police believe the mother and daughter were ambushed while sitting in their parked SUV in the middle of the day on Tuesday. Both of them died in that shooting that was caught on surveillance video in Worcester. But prosecutors say the alleged gunman took off and were traced here to Hartford, where the suspect on the run has relatives.
National Guardswoman and her 6th grade daughter shot to death Tuesday in what police are calling an ambush attack. It happened in the middle of the afternoon in Worcester, Massachusetts, late enough in the day to capture the double murder clearly on surveillance cameras.
Police reviewed security video which shows the victim's vehicle parked on the side of the road. 2 people walk up to the vehicle and start shooting the vehicle.
Fox 61 counted more than 24 bullet holes in this white Nissan Rogue. The one 27-year-old Chastity Nunez and her 11-year-old daughter Zella were sitting in when they were killed. Prosecutors believe 2 men are responsible for the crime, who they say circled the area in a white sedan before opening fire. A witness wrote down the license plate number and reported it to police.
With the police, we're able to connect with the vehicle's car system through AT&T, and we're able to locate the vehicle in Hartford, Connecticut, about a little bit over an hour after the shooting.
Police say 28-year-old Carell Manguel was arrested back in Worcester on armed assault to murder and gun charges and appeared in court on Wednesday. But the search continues for his alleged accomplice, 27-year-old Dejan Belnavis, last seen on surveillance video in Hartford.
A check of Mr. Belnavis showed that he had a relative who resides close to where the vehicle was parked in Hartford.
And tonight, the Connecticut community is mourning the loss of 2 young lives cut short. Chastity Nunez served 4 years as a patient administration specialist with the state's National Guard, where she's being remembered for her intelligence and compassion. In a statement, the Connecticut National Guard said in part, quote, "Our hearts are broken because we lost specialist Chastity Nunez to senseless violence. Her wit, social nature, and dedication to duty made her one of the best soldiers in our unit. I cannot begin to make sense of why this happened."
And our hearts go out to her family. The suspect in custody is being held without bond as he waits for a hearing next Tuesday to determine if he can qualify for bail. Meanwhile, as police search for the second suspect in this case, people at home might be concerned about the connection to Hartford, where he was last seen. I spoke with Hartford police a few hours ago about that very concern and was told there does not appear to be a danger to the public at this time, so that perhaps is a bit reassuring.
It's such a tragic story. Here. Have investigators said whether they think it's random or targeted?
They've not said one way or another, Brent, but one thing we can say, pointing to the facts, is that these alleged shooters were circling this woman's car. They knew where she was, and that's typically not a factor in a random shooting. But again, it is under investigation.
And still scary.
Very scary.
All right. Thank you, Bridget.
All right, meanwhile, Meriden police have made an arrest in connection to a street takeover that happened last May. Police say Adalberto Oseguera turned himself in yesterday. He was identified as a co-conspirator in the damaging of a Meriden police cruiser on May 6th of last year. Oseguera is facing multiple charges, including inciting a riot. He is due back in court later this month.
Glastonbury police have arrested a woman claiming she was an accomplice in a stabbing. Amina Wetherington is accused of encouraging Marcus McDaniels to assault the victim and failed to check on her 9-year-old child who witnessed the incident. The incident happened at the Academy building last month. Police say Wetherington and McDaniels left the scene without the child. McDaniels was arrested soon after the stabbing. Police say the victim is expected to be okay, but needed surgery. Hartford police have arrested a man accusing him of public indecency. Police say the incident happened in October on a city bus. Brian Edwards was taken into custody yesterday. Edwards is being held on $5,000 bond.
And still to come here on the news at 6, it's that time of year again. Congress once again considering putting an end to daylight saving time. Their discussion on Capitol Hill.
Now here we go again. Plus testimony at the state capitol from a 4-legged friend. Yukon's own Jonathan the Husky appeared before lawmakers. We'll tell you why next.